Good morning, Year 9. This is Mr. Souza. I hope you're well and having a lovely day. So today's lesson will be about character. So could you please write the date and the title of character in your book? So on to the do now. One of the principles of creative writing is that every character should want or need something. What do you think the person in each picture wants? Write down an idea for each picture. You have 5 minutes to do this, so please pause the recording now. Okay, so let's go through them. I want easy access to clean drinking water, so I don't have to walk miles every day. I am on holiday, and I want to build the best sandcastle ever. I want to get good results in my A-levels so I can get into university. I am a refugee, and all I want is a safe place to live. So 4 very different desires, which you could sort of deduce from the pictures. So now let's think about motivation. Every character should want something. This is important because it drives the whole story. Some characters want big things, like freedom or revenge. Others want smaller things, like getting a new bike or seeing an old friend. We sometimes call this a character's motivation. It's important because it is much easier to care about a character who wants something than a character who already has everything they need. So could you now pause the video and spend 3 minutes writing down what motivation is and why we need it in a story? So what I would like you to do is answer the questions on the slide for your chosen character. What are they interested in? What's their history? Describe their past life and background. What's their fatal flaw? What do they love? What do they want? Why do they want it? What are they afraid of? And what is their personality type? So to reiterate, you're choosing a character and you're answering those questions for that character. You can choose one of the 2 characters on the slide, or if you're feeling creative, you can make up your own character from scratch. It's important that you answer each of the questions on the slide in as much detail as possible to really bring that character you're creating to life. So please pause the video for 10 minutes to do this now. Now let's talk about conflict. Conflict happens in a story when a character cannot get what they want. A conflict in the story is a problem the main character needs to solve to achieve their goal. Without conflict, there is no story and no character development. Conflict and high stakes relate to one another. If the character doesn't resolve the conflict, what is at stake? What would the character lose? This is the question you should ask yourself when you're thinking about the conflict in your story. So please pause the recording for 3 minutes to write down what conflict is and why it's important. This character is Maureen Dobbs. Her motivation is cigarettes. However, there is a conflict. Her daughter doesn't want Maureen to smoke anymore and hides the cigarettes as soon as she has bought them. How does Maureen try to resolve the conflict? So I'd like you to pause the video for 5 minutes to jot down some ideas. So these are a couple of ideas. If you didn't get them, please add them to your list. She hides the cigarettes before her daughter can hide them. She retaliates by making life difficult for her daughter until her daughter stops hiding her cigarettes. She gets another family member to help her, and she falls out with her daughter. So these are all possible ways to resolve the conflict of her daughter wanting to take away her cigarette. So what I'd like to do next, under your character profile, add 2 conflicts. Remember what they want. The conflict is what's getting in the way of what they want. Then add 2 different ways to resolve each conflict. And finally, write a paragraph exploring one of the conflicts in more detail. Include how it came about, how it affects them, and the best way in which it can be resolved. You have 10 minutes to write down to answer these questions. So please pause the recording now. Okay, so next we have a diary entry. Imagine you are your character and therefore that all the answers to the questions on the character profile slide apply to you, write a diary entry explaining what you want in life, what is getting in the way of you achieving it, and how you are going to resolve it. And as this is a diary entry, please make sure you're writing in the first person, so that's using I. Ideally, you would write reflecting on something that's happened, or you can, so in the past tense, or you can write in the present tense. Either is fine. Okay, so I'd like you to spend 15 minutes writing your diary entry. Please make sure to use a lot of detail. It could also be a really good idea to include some emotive language, so language that makes the reader feel something. That would be a really good way to, that'd be something really good to include in your diary entry. Okay, so you've now done the diary entry, well done. And finally, we've got some reflection. So as we've learnt, conflict and motivation are key to creating interesting characters. Next lesson, we are going to look at using show not tell to describe your character. So hopefully you've enjoyed today's lesson. Thank you very much for your hard work, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Don't forget to send me photos of your work if you would like an achievement point. So thank you and goodbye.